it loud for everybody for Anthony Eugenio. We're gonna have a guest calling. Very funny. Wayne Russell, everybody.
Welcome to the Open Mic Pain with Anthony and Wayne podcast.
What is going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Open Mic Pain with Anthony and Wayne. I am here with my co-host, Anthony. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good, Wayne. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, because tonight we are going to be going to the Middle East in Cambridge, Massachusetts for this week's Mic of the Week. This is one that I've seen a little bit on Facebook. I'm not super familiar with it, but I'm excited to go try it out. I don't know who to expect to see there or what to expect in general. I haven't seen the stage. I haven't seen the venue, so I'm excited to try it out. Are you familiar with this place at all?
I am. I've been there before. So the Middle East... Yeah, the Middle East is a bomb-ass motherfucking rock club as well. They have a downstairs stage and an upstairs stage. I'm going to go ahead and guess the comedy's going to be on the upstairs, smaller stage. But it's a very cool venue. Cambridge is an awesome outskirt of Boston, which, again, we're getting closer and closer, you sons of bitches in Boston. We're coming for you. And I'm excited about this one. I don't know crowd-wise. It seems the closer we get into the city, the more that my... blue humor tends to be not appreciated, so we'll see how that goes as far as how the crowd takes us. But as far as the venue, I don't think I've ever been more excited. I used to go see rock shows here and dream to play on stage because I was in a band, but I was so bad I couldn't do it. Now I'm bad, but they allow anybody to perform, so I'm in by a technicality.
That's awesome. I didn't realize you knew this place that well or that intimately, so it's going to be very exciting. What do you plan on doing this week? Are you sticking with some of the same bits, or are you trying things new, or what's going on?
So I have my California Sober, which I've been closing with because I say a terribly disgusting thing for my last line, which I love.
My favorite thing.
Well, I am
my favorite.
I am this week going to take that out, and I'm going to put in a different ending, which I like so far equally as much. I think I shared with you the idea that I have. And the idea behind this is I'm kind of riffing on, not to give too much away, but the Bud Light controversy a little bit with my old bit. And I want to make it untopical, so something that I can use going forward a little bit more. Mm-hmm. So I do have, it is still slightly topical, but I think more I could talk about later because it's just a hilarious thing. So I'm going to try that on that side of the bit. And then I'm going to bring back, last week I opened with Witch because we were in Salem. This week, because we're not in Salem anymore, I'm going to go back to a bit I have called Sperm Whale. And I have a different intro to it, which I'm going to try again. And that's, I'm excited about that one. And then I'm going to middle with Prison Economics, which is just a great middle joke. It's easy to get into. It's easy to get out of. And, it's like perfect in the middle of your set type of bit. So that's the plan, I think, so far. I mean, I am leaving room up to a spur-of-the-moment joke to open with instead of Sperm Whale, but I got to try that again and get it more, muscle memory.
Yeah, that's awesome. I am finally going to stop doing dick talk, I think. Unless I puss out at the last minute, but I don't think I will. I've been working on a joke the last week that you've been pushing me to work on about ghosts. And,
yeah, we both have ghost bits now, so we'll be strategic on when we deploy them.
Yeah, we do. This is something I just I think I sent it to you in a text just randomly, and you told me to write it down. And I did, and I didn't do anything with it until the last week or two. I started kind of playing around with it, and I think I had a little birthday shindig at my house, and that very day, not to give too much away, but I recently bought my house, probably about 8 months ago, and the guy that lived here before me passed away, and he was getting these magazines that indicated that he was gay. So we started talking about it, and I think you mentioned to me, like, that would be so funny if you were haunted by a gay ghost. So I've started writing that joke, and it's taken many forms over the last week. I've changed it so much.
I'm very excited about it.
I'm nervous about it because I've changed it so much. It's
I'm
been
excited that that guy got what happens to probably be a lifetime subscription to that gay magazine because he's been dead for how long now and they're still sending them out. So
I've
he
gotten seven
definitely.
of them. I've
That
been
guy
here
was
eight.
like, in case of death,
I've
still
been.
send.
I bought this house 8 months ago, so it was November. We closed on Halloween. I have gotten seven of these magazines, so I think I'm like, I don't know how far in advance he paid for this shit, but it's like a never-ending supply.
Are there over 30? This is a question. Are there over 30 pages in the magazine, do you reckon?
Yeah,
All right, because I wonder, because if you get it once a month, right, and this is how you jack off. You jack off to this magazine. You're like, how do you ration the month? Like, do you have to go like, all right, I have to jack off to an ad today for Mentos because it's that day. It's my day to jack off
you
to the
have to
Mentos
have
ad.
you have to have your favorites that you go back to once in a while, right?
I mean, it depends on the person. Like me, am I ruining the page when I'm done the first time? Like, is there some kind of interaction with the page itself? I think they call those tributes or some shit like that. Like, is that going to happen where I can really only use each page once, so I really need to ration it? Or am I cleaner with this where I'm putting like a plastic bag over it or something where do whatever you want, you know?
Oh,
I thought you were going to have something back. I thought we were in the middle of I thought we were ping-ponging this back.
no, I get nothing.
You can't let me fucking out to die like that.
I get nothing.
It's like that lady. I don't know if anybody's seen the Jared Fogle documentary, but it's so funny. There is this lady who ran into Jared, and he was like, I kind of like kids a little bit. And she was like, and instead of her being like, well, I'm never going to talk to that guy again, she was like, let me entrap this guy. So she would start recording their conversation. She's like, you know what I like that you like? Kids. Go on. And then she would like bait him into saying a bunch of stuff that was horrific. And then she handed him into the FBI. Anyways, I feel like that's what you did there by letting me go on that long tirade and not fucking say anything back.
I love the fact that Jared's motto was "Eat fresh."
It was dark though. It was quite dark. Yeah, that documentary. I have a bit I'm going to give away because I'm not going to use it because it's too dark. But the idea is that it's my Jared from Subway bit. It's so my wife dresses my son most of the time, but every once in a while she lets me dress him, and I take that really seriously. Like I want him to do really well at school. I want him to pick up all the ladies. So I started to think like, how can I make him more attractive to his demographic? And his demographic is obviously kids. So I dress him like Jared from Subway, and that's the bit. I can't think of a place that I can do that without people being really mad at me, so I'm not going to do it. But
I
just
think,
know universe, I thought about it.
I think an interesting way to spin that would be if you want your son to get a lot of action, you would have to secretly dress one of the other kids as Jared.
So he goes after the... Well, then I'd be picking his partner, and that's even more unethical than dressing your kid up as Jared, I think.
That's more unethical than Jared?
I'm done apologizing for pedophiles for this episode. I think I did quite a bit. So I'm going to stop doing that.
We'll get back on topic.
Okay, yeah. What are we doing again with kids? The Middle East.
Yeah. We strayed off with what I was doing this week, with the Out magazine and all that.
Oh yeah, they don't like that in the Middle East, I tell you. They don't like that shit.
They don't. That's actually kind of funny that'll be the first time I do this on stage.
Oh yeah, that's true. I don't know if the Taliban owns this place or anything yet because we haven't been, so we can't confirm nor deny. But if they do, Wayne's fucked.
Yep, episode was it Mike Knight episode 4? I guess it would be my beheading.
Well, that will get us some motherfucking views. If YouTube isn't a bunch of pussies and fucking censors it. Remember YouTube you could see anything on there? I remember my school when YouTube came out and I was like in whatever, 7th grade or something like that, it shut our school down. Like it was worse than COVID. It was like 3 months where nobody can get anything done because the schools were virused up with titties. Every single computer that we had. I remember we had a Washington trip that we were going to in Washington, D.C., and there was 40 kids that were going on it, and there ended up being like 6 of us that ended up making it on the trip. The rest of the people got suspended for porn. That was when you were able to Google it that year and get the titties up. So that's where we're at, folks. That's where we're at. Halfway through, I didn't remember why I was talking about that, and I was like, I don't know why I'm here.
I'm glad you said that because I can't remember where we were and why you were talking about that.
Yeah, somewhere down the line, we decided you weren't going to do your TikTok set, and you were doing something different. So I think that's where we're at.
Yeah. So I'm doing something different. I've been working on it. I'm a little nervous about it. Normally, I practice my bits in my car. Today, I worked with another person in my car, so it'd be kind of weird if I was just, every 5 minutes just restarting the same sentence. One thing I like about
you do that.
I don't do it as much when it's not new stuff. I might do it like once or twice throughout the day, if like with TikTok, something I know really intimately.
And even on an off day, right? That you're not doing a set that night, you'll do it like on a Monday if you have a set on a Thursday.
Yeah, I'll do it maybe once or twice throughout the day. On any given day, I'll practice some bit. And one thing that I find, and we'll get into this with, I guess, writing bits. I'll say it again, but one thing that I find is I will pick a random bit and I'll time it and I'll say it while I'm driving, and it helps me kind of figure out new directions to go with it. Just by saying it out loud. Nobody's laughing, nobody's listening to me. It's just me. Maybe the person in the car next to me at a stoplight is listening to me going like, what's this fucking idiot talking about? But I find it really helps. But
yeah, I completely agree. It's kind of like, it's not fully a crowd, obviously. You don't get that same kind of conjecture back where you can write on stage in a real, like, full of adrenaline moment. But it's like a micro version of that. It's like when you sneeze and it's 1/10 of an orgasm. It's like a sneeze of practicing comedy, but you're like, hey, I gotta get something. So that's where I've written a couple tags just by practicing in the car randomly. But I am very much the day, no matter what I'm doing, it'll be like tomorrow. I'll throw together what I talked about, that kind of put together set, and see if it goes up to the time that I need it to. But I'll probably only do that once or twice because I got an idea of these bits that are there. But anyways, we're going to the Middle East. You got anything else to say about this motherfucking place before we get over there?
No, I'm excited. I'm really excited to go. So that's all I have to say. I'm looking forward to it. As I am every week we go to a mic. It's the highlight of my week. So
yeah, because we both married and with kids, and you know what? Our life is. Oh, your phone went off.
Yeah,
you gotta tell us. You gotta tell us what that is now.
You know what it is? It's Google One.
Google One.
Yeah, it's from Google One. It's just a Google email. So thank you Google. You fucked up our episode.
Yeah, you fucked up everything, and Wayne is blaming it on you instead of himself for not putting his phone on silent. But
it was actually on. It actually was on silent though. It's the gay ghost. He's like, fuck you for talking about me to the internet. So I'm gonna take your phone off silent.
Are you revealing his name, or did you make
his
up
name
a
is
name
Richard, which is awesome.
That's so good. Yeah, Richard, come haunt me, dude, because I want to, if I'm going to get, think about it, if you were going to test gay, why not a ghost? Because it's not a real person. They can't ruin your wife with your wife afterwards, because like if a ghost goes to your wife and is like, I fucked your husband, your wife's going to be like, I can't trust you, you're a ghost. So you get out that way, you can always get out of the, so I'm just saying, if we're going to, and is it gay to fuck a ghost? Are they men or women? Who knows? They're a ghost. That's another thing.
Yeah.
I think I'm illuminating a lot of fringe ideas tonight. But just go with it, everybody. God damn, everybody's so goddamn uptight. All right, Wayne, why don't you take us out?
Yeah, so we're going to be leaving in a few minutes here. We'll be heading down to the Middle East. After the show, as always, we will pop into a parking lot or somewhere, and we'll tell you how it went. We'll compare notes as to what we're expecting to happen. We're not, what we worked on and how it actually went. So, for me, look forward to me feeling pretty shitty about myself tomorrow because I'm not super confident about this, but I'm looking forward to it anyways.
Sounds good. Have a good night, everybody, and remember, every mic is a step towards the quest for laughs. Goodbye.
What is going on, everybody? How you doing? Thank you very much for having me. And that was excellent. Right or what? They're assholes. This guy's completely right. That's how it is. The prison thing is sweet. I got some post-mortem hustler. I'm fucking in on this. This guy was awesome. So
I love it so goddamn much, but there are some people that are really going out and stick it in their booty hole. Can we give it up for the Massachusetts Club, everybody? Here's the clap.
Oh, hello everybody, and welcome to an open mic thing with Anthony and Wayne reaction video for our open mic tonight. So we fucked up so goddamn hard tonight, everybody. We were supposed to go to the Middle East. I'm sure you heard the video before, and I thought the sign up was 8 because I'm stupid, and I showed up at 8, and that was 30 minutes after the sign up time, so we didn't get to go on there. So we ended up at Tavern at the end of the fucking world, which are we in Cambridge right now?
I believe it's still Cambridge, yeah.
We're still in fucking Cambridge. Say hi to Wayne, everybody. Hi, Wayne.
What's going on, everybody? So yeah, it was kind of disappointing not being able to get up in the Middle East. We were both looking forward to that. However, I was able to message the host here, Carrie, and ask her if she had any spots available, and she said, absolutely, come on down. And luckily, we were only 11 minutes or so away, so we came in and watched some good comics up there and got to go up ourselves. The fluke there was we were expecting a 5-minute set. It was actually 4 minutes, which I think at this point was a little easier for us.
Yeah. This happened to me before, and it completely dismantled my entire life. And this time, pretty easy.
Yeah. So we had talked about what you were planning on doing. How'd that go for you? Obviously, you had to cut something. What did you cut out to get to the...
So I cut out my first bit. So I just did prison economics and California sober with my new ending. It went I definitely knew that we were doing stuff that was a little bit stronger than the stuff that was coming before, only because most of the tables weren't paying attention, and then we were able to grab their attention, which I think is nice. That's a good new thing that we were able to do this week. I think is a very shitty room with a lot of talking and fucking bullshit, and we were able to bring people into it because our stuff was pretty interesting. Wayne was trying a new joke, got everybody interested. My prison economics is definitely one that will intrigue anybody, at least. I'm not saying it's funny, but it's intriguing at least. So that one went pretty good. My last punchline, my closer, did not get a laugh, which hurt me. I thought it was pretty funny. But yeah, besides that, I have crabs. Wayne?
Yeah, so I tried the new joke I've been working on. I've been really nervous, but I actually texted Anthony today. Said, I don't know if I'm going to do it. I'm not really confident in it. But I decided to suck it up and just do it. And I got to say, today I had, we talked about that adrenaline rush the first time I got off stage. And I don't know if it's because I've been doing TikTok for like 5 weeks straight now, but going up and doing something different, not knowing how it was going to go, and then it actually did much better than I thought. It not great by any means, but it did much better than I thought.
Especially the first time you're trying it. It was great.
Yeah. I got that a little bit of adrenaline rush at the end. I was paying my bill and I couldn't write straight. It felt good again, not again, but I had that same feeling like the first time, and it felt good.
Yeah, I have the passive movement of a dead sloth. I did not get adrenaline rushed at all, because we did that show for 6 people, and some of them weren't comics though. That was cool.
There was quite a bit of not comics, and I focused my attention on, there was 4 in particular right in front, and I focused most of my attention on them.
Well, I lost one of the guys. I think the guy, unfortunately, but I'm assuming here, which you should never do. You should never assume, but I think this guy was gay. And I got into some hairy territory, and I saw his smile go into a frown and stare at me like, damn it. So I let him down. Sorry, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
You did good.
For me, I had all 4 of them laughing the whole time, so I was happy about that.
I know, and you did a gay joke, and it was...
Yeah, the whole thing was about gay.
I know. He loved it. He loved it. Didn't love it from me. He was like, not a brown. Not a brown.
But overall, yeah, I mean, it was a nice... I think it was a cool little tavern. There was a little... I don't even call it a separate room. It was like almost like an addition. It almost looked like an addition off to the side of the bar. So much like the one in Jamaica Plain, there were people there not for the comedy and really close to the stage, but they weren't quite as loud. And
For us, I'm telling you, they were loud as fuck before us.
they were loud for quite a few people, but
Once you start talking about assholes, folks, people tune in.
comedy's all about assholes.
It's mostly about assholes. Some dick, some asshole, some
Yeah.
shit. Any of those.
Yeah.
You're gonna get people to look at you. I don't know if they're gonna laugh, but they're gonna fucking look. They're gonna pay attention.
One thing I did like that the host Carrie was doing was she was doing like an on deck, which it confused a couple people, but
Definitely.
sometimes you forget the name of the person that is going ahead of you. Not so much for me because I always go after Anthony.
Yeah, it's fucking awesome, right? Sometimes I get literally Unabomber children that go in front of me, that go up there and literally vomit, screaming eagle shit their pants on the stage, and then they go, and then Anthony, you go blah 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 and say my fucking name wrong, and then I go up, and then Wayne gets to go up to his white ass sounding name after me every time. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. But what Carrie was doing was
Sorry, that all came out of me like an exorcism pea fucking soup.
what Carrie was doing was she was saying, you know, for instance, when Anthony went up, she would say, on deck we have Wayne Russell, but now give it up for Anthony Eugenio.
She did say it right.
She did say it right. And I like that. It did confuse a couple people. They heard, you know, on deck and they heard their name and they tried to go up. Like the guy that went up after me. He thought he was up next and he was trying to take the mic and stuff. And there was a little bit of confusion, but I still think that's a really good idea. That way you know, like, okay, I can go to the bathroom real quick or whatever you want to do, you know?
Yeah, get high. That's what Anthony does. It's to go outside and not worry about it so much.
Yeah. So overall, I think it was a happy accident. I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good for an hour drive. I don't know that I would come here on a regular basis just because it's an hour drive. But if I was closer, I would definitely pop in more often.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, obviously, in the end, when you go to a place like this, you obviously feel a lot less pressure. Just like that Titanic sub.
Yep. I knew
Join us next week for another Quest for Laughs!
That's not. It's twice, huh? You've never done this before?